This week, our beautiful sun, the sun within us, our consciousness, the life, is activating gate 32 in the I Ching and Gene Keys. This frequency is activating a genetic codon within our DNA that is stimulating our consciousness field. The theme in the life this week, the transformational path of this frequency moves from the shadow of failure to the highest frequency of veneration, and it's via the path of preservation. This energy, this frequency is going to be part of the Aries full moon that is happening October 17th. Before we get into the full contemplation of this frequency, let's take a quick peek at the human design holographic body graph together to better understand this energy from within us, from within our body. The sun moves into gate 32 this week, which automatically activates gate 42, its programming partner, its harmonic gate, its earth, its exact opposite frequency in the sky. They work together. The best way to understand it, the earth is the manifestation, what we see, and the sun is the illumination. Gate 32 is located right here in the splenic awareness center. It's our primal instincts in the now, which represents our instincts, our intuition, our fears, and our immune system. At the shadow, it's the fear of failure, which triggers a panic sensation in the body. Gate 42, the earth, is located in the sacral center, which represents our vital life force, our reproduction, sustainability, and sexuality. This energy is physical body wisdom in the now. Gate 42 is the energy of growth. At the shadow, it's expectation, and at the highest frequency, it's celebration. Additionally, this week, Mars, our action, our life force energy, is in connection with the North Node of Destiny. Both of them are creating a quantum field channel called the Channel of Acceptance. This energy is about verbally formulating thoughts and processes, hypotheses, and opinions based on logic. You may find yourself studying complex concepts and systems, then explaining them in a cohesive way to others. So this week's energy suggests that it's fated. Our actions will be moving us forward as cycles are ending and cycles are beginning. Trust your natural impulses this week. Trust your body consciousness. This shadow is a contemplation on failure. So what is failure? I think it's an interesting question because it could lead in two different directions. So on one hand, we need to see that there's no such thing as failure, and what we perceive is a gift in disguise, which may even lead to a revelation, a new way to freedom. And on the other hand, we could look at it from a wider circle. So first, we have individual failure, a failure of a specific endeavor. So a business that fails, a failure of an exam, or a failure of an attempt. And then there is a collective failure, a kind of social failure associated with the whole. So for example, our human failure as a species to eradicate poverty and war. And then there is biological failure, the failure to survive. In many instances, we have come to see dying as a sort of failure. So we go on battling against failure. It seems to be a very human thing, failure. So it's clear that it could teach us a great deal. Along with the 28th gene key, the 32nd gene key together form the codon ring called the Ring of Illusion. So it might be interesting to look at the connection of these two shadows, the 28th shadow of purposelessness and the 32nd shadow of failure. So lack of purpose and failure seem to be connected. So this gives us an avenue of contemplative insight. So is failure a missing of purpose? To live the whole life without a sense of purpose? To die without fulfilling your highest purpose? Which then leads us to the next question. What is our higher purpose? And this is the great question of the Gene Keys. For some of us, there may be a great deal of pressure to achieve a higher purpose, as if we need to do something to achieve that higher purpose. If you ask me, the highest purpose that one can achieve is living well. That's it. So, if there's such a thing as failure on a metaphysical level, then I would say it's failure to not live well. So, how do we live well? Let's first look at the dilemma of this shadow. Every shadow brings a dilemma, and a dilemma is like a knot that we need to detangle from. The 30-second dilemma is panic, and panic is a subtle vibration that emanates from fear, that comes from fear, a deep forgetting of who we truly are. Panic and purposelessness come together. Panic leads us down a road of failure. You may think of panic as a manic energy, a pushing or reactive energy, but it's so much deeper than that on an inner level. Inner panic is about how we make decisions in the life. It's about how we go about our day and our daily life. So look at your yesterday. Be completely honest with yourself. When did you panic? Because panic was there the whole day. It's a subtle undercurrent, kind of like anxiety. It's you trying to get through the day, trying to get to that rest, to that sense of peace, that sense of completion. And did you ever get to that peace? For most of us, at best, we have a few moments in the day where we're not actually panicking, where we take a pause, we notice the beautiful sun, we hear the birds chirping, we feel the sensation of nature on our body, we smell something delicious. So shine the light of awareness to this tendency in the life and see if you can slow down inside yourself. See if you can see the panic at work. You can see the panic in the world, rushing from one thing to the next. And most of the time, without any real consideration why we're trying to achieve a certain thing. If you're joining me each week in contemplation, then we are pausing and reflecting and opening up our heart to a new way of being, a new way of living well. To savor the moments, enjoying nature and not letting it pass by you. It's a beautiful art, the art of living well. So at the shadow, we forget what it means to live well. We panic, we move too fast, we get busy. We're living in an intense time. If you want to be different than the crowd, if you want to stand out, if you want to be a true rebel, then slow down the shadow inside you. Take your time with things. Enjoy the moments. Enjoy the process. You could be passionate, but not panicky. Then you're outside the loop of failure. So failure could be a portal to many possibilities. It really is an illusion of our perception. But it's really human to see things in terms of success and failure. You can look at a relationship or connection that ended as failure. Or you could look at it as an experience, a lesson. As long as you ended it with graciousness, then you're living well. Let's now contemplate what it means to succeed. The 30-second gift, the way to alchemize the shadow and raise the vibration, preservation. So what is preservation? It's about protecting what we value, preserving the things we love. At the shadow frequency, our panic about dying drives us to preserve the life through selfishness. We try to cram the life with activities with a desperate bid for happiness. We unconsciously try to preserve our identity, and our identity is nothing but a dream. I'm not Zipporah. All the things that the mind associates with my human, my belongings, my home, my family, my friends, my gifts, my lifestyle, even my body, is not truly who I am. So what is it? What are we trying to really preserve? The gift frequency is always about an inner turning. It's the field of transformation, love, and creativity. At a certain point of our evolution, we come to realize that the things that we're trying to preserve are not the real things. Trying to maintain this illusory thing, the ego, which are webs stitched together by our thoughts. We're only really preserving our suffering, like a dog chasing its tail. The great inner turning occurs when the shell of our self-obsessions crack. We have to remember that the 32nd gene key along with the 28th gene key are part of the codon ring of illusions, and illusions are here to be shattered. So if you have the 32nd gene key in a prominent location in your energetic profile, then your life story, your dharma, will always bring you to the threshold of this shattering. The great question is, will you allow yourself to be shattered? It's kind of like the movie The Matrix, when you're offered the red pill or the blue pill, if you've ever seen the film. So the red pill will shatter your illusions, and the blue pill will have you forget everything and go back to the illusion. So the real question is, which pill will you take? When we trust in the life deep enough, we trust in the events of the life, we allow them to shatter us, and that is what reframes our view. Now the question is, what is essential? That is the great inner question. What needs preserving? How about love? How about virtue? How about forgiveness? Or any of the 64 cities, the highest frequencies? Did you ever hear the story about a man that planted trees? Sometimes a story could tell more about a frequency than anything else. So once upon a time, there was a man, a hero, a peasant, a simple man, living in an area where nothing grows. People are poor and suffering. He goes out each day and plants a tree, and he plants them all around his house. Some people come, some people go, and he continues and plants trees. Some trees die, some trees live, and he continues and plants the trees. Then years go by, and the war comes, and he continues and plants trees. And then the war ends, and a new government arrives and notices that there's a forest and decides to cut the trees for profit. Our great man ignores it all and continues to plant trees. By now, he's miles away from where he started. The government falls, and the trees are left alone. By now, our man is an old man, still planting trees. Now there's a vast forest, a rich ecosystem, rich soil, birds, wildlife, and more people moving to the area. Our man continues to plant until he gets too old, and then he dies with the sound of nature. No one knows who this man is or what he's done except for him. It's a beautiful fable, and it's exactly what the 32nd gift is. It brings transformation, but first you have to find what's essential. So what is essential? What is your tree? What is your fable? What are you going to preserve for future generations? Sit with it, contemplate it, feel it. It will come to you in divine timing. The 32nd city, the highest frequency, veneration. The word veneration derives from the Latin word of Venus, love and beauty, honoring of the beautiful, the essential. It's like the tree of life, the shamanic bridge between realms. By pausing, by listening inward to life, to wisdom, to truth within you, veneration is the result of preservation. Veneration is something you discover at the heart of the life. It's the quality that you feel when you pause at a crossroad, at the branch of the tree of life. You're part of a vast mystery. Yours is a vital life, a precious life, a delicate thread between past and future. So follow the gentle pulse of truth inside you, your higher purpose hidden within your DNA. I'm Parry this week to create space, get to higher awareness, notice your thoughts, feel all the sensations fully that come up in the body this week, and shine the light of awareness to any slight sensation of panic, of thoughts of failure, and feel it deeply. Notice your habitual pattern of getting busy. And I empower you to maybe take a pause and go out for nature. Breathe in, breathe out. Be blessed.